Hey everyone, George the Disney Italiano coming to you with not a typical kind of recording that I usually do on Citrico Central, but I'm trying to kind of space things out and kind of add some variety into the content of my channel. And I definitely would love to dive deep into discussing film of all different kinds of genres, not even just with Disney, but other companies as well. And because I've been starting to do like out of theater reactions. I did it with the live action Snow White, and I've done it with Thunderbolts and the live action Lilo and Stitch. But I also want to dive into doing that outside of the Disney genre. And the reason why I quoted space is because today's little episode show, several hours ago, they broke that Spaceballs 2 is happening. And I have to say, like, normally I'm excited for like these big budget films, especially coming out like with Fantastic Four and Jurassic World and uh all that good jazz. But just, this taps into like the nostalgia of like what I'm like used to watching like as a child growing up. And yeah, I just can't wait to dive into it. But the legendary film director Mel Brooks um, actually posted on social media, and I'm gonna share my screen with you. And this is going to be the trailer. So I thought, you know what, why not? Let's watch the teaser trailer together. And because as I said, this is like nostalgia for me at its best, like my childhood growing up. And I know it's a movie that I really like you shouldn't be watching as a child, but I think even then you just like to watch something without even knowing like what the puns and the jokes are. And I'm a huge fan of Mel Brooks. I mean, 98 years young. It was confirmed that he is going to reprise his role as Yogurt, and and Rick Moranis and Bill Pullman are returning as well. There are several actors, unfortunately, that are not with us anymore that cannot reprise their roles, such as Joan Rivers and, of course, the late great John Candy, legendary actor within his own right. But I'm for sure that I'm for sure they'll probably pay tribute to them, maybe in some, in some way. But I thought, we'd watch the teaser trailer together, and we'll go from there. 38 years ago, there was only one Star Wars trilogy, but since then, there have been a prequel trilogy, a sequel trilogy, a sequel to the prequel, a prequel to the sequel, countless TV spin-offs, a movie spin-off of the TV spin-off, which is both a prequel and a sequel, not to mention two Dunes, seven Jurassic Parks, two Avatars plus three upcoming Avatars, making five Avatars, 36 MCU movies with two different Robert Downey Jr.'s, DCU attempt number one, DCU attempt number two, an animated Lion King, a live action animated Lion King, a live action animated Lion King prequel, eight Harry Potter movies, a TV series remaking the same eight Harry Potter movies, a whole streaming service of Star Trek, seven Alien movies, uh, four Beetle movies, and Oppenheimer. Let's see. But in 38 years, there has only ever been one baseball until now. And this is actually coming from legendary director Mel Brooks. Only in theaters. See, and that's awesome. The fact that they're not even releasing this, on a just a simple streaming service, or as a mini series. Sort of kind of like how they did with History of the World Part 2. There were certain moments of that was funny, but it didn't like pay tribute to like the classic, History of the World Part One. And I do know that Mel Brooks was part of that as well. I do hope that with this, that it's going to hit all the right notes, especially because, some of the main cast are coming back reprising their roles. And again, this is probably something that's going to be big, that the fact that it's coming out in theaters. I mean, normally with parody slapstick films anymore, you don't see going into theaters that much, but I'm so glad that they decided to. And Mel Brooks, God bless him, like 98 years young and he's still kicking, and he's one of those Hollywood icons that I really looked up to growing up. He's one of the main reasons why I have my sarcasm, my personality, because I kind of got it like from watching his films, and also the late great Don Rickles with his comedy specials and roasts, and so I mean, these are like old time classic, golden age era of Hollywood. And you don't get that anymore, really. You just it doesn't happen as often. So I'm really hoping that this will kind of shine new light on Spaceballs. As I said, I think it's for like my generation and maybe even a little bit older, that grew up with it in the 80s. And, today's era probably doesn't even know what Spaceballs is, not unless, their parents or grandparents introduced it to them. But it'll bring like a whole new generation into it as well. And as I said, I don't even want to think about it, but I mean, Mel Brooks, he's getting up there, and I want him to be here with us for as long as possible. But when that unfortunate time comes where he has to sadly leave us and move on, that I do hope and pray that they put like part of his like memorial, "It's good to be the king," like that would be awesome. That would be so perfect. But I don't even want to think about that right now. That's as I said, 98 years young, still kicking. He's making this movie. I want him to be able to, you know, experience every moment of glory that is he deserves to come with, because the original Spaceballs for me was a cult classic. It's still a cult classic. And I can't wait to see what Spaceballs 2 is going to bring. And I will be seeing this in theaters, and I will be doing an out of theater reaction here on Citrico Central for sure. Nothing really more that I was going to do. This was just a little video just to kind of like do the breaking of the news, because this happened several hours ago where they dropped it on social media. So I thought it would be kind of fun, just to kind of talk about it a little bit, what Spaceballs means to me, what Mel Brooks means to me. And again, I'm trying to kind of tap into my, just going beyond Disney and just, discussing film and entertainment just in general, of stuff that I enjoy. So I would like to bring and talk about it with you. But definitely comment down below your thoughts, your opinions. What do you think of Spaceballs 2? Were you a fan of Spaceballs? Have you even heard of it? Are you a fan of Mel Brooks? Leave a comment down below. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And as I always say, in Disney Italiano fashion, I'm tripping over my words. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay Disney. Italiano out.